Hey guys, welcome back to the Oversharing Mum. As you can see today, it's just me. The reason for that is I put a question and answer box on my Instagram stories, and most of the questions were pregnancy related. So we thought it just made sense for me to film the answers to those. But we will be back again filming soon together. Yeah, we would like to just obviously say thank you to our subscribers. We really appreciate you. It does mean a lot to us. Yeah, I'm gonna make this short and sweet. I'm just gonna get straight into the questions. Okay, so one of the questions I got was, how do I take time when I'm constantly with my kids? So I think this is more a case if your partner's working, if you've got a partner and you're doing, it feels like you're basically a single parent because you're doing everything, and that can be quite taxing on your mental health, emotional, physical, like everything. That can be quite difficult. So I would just say, just look for little pockets of time in the day when they're either entertaining themselves or when they're having a nap or even when they're eating. Yeah, just little pockets of time where you can fit time in for yourself, even if it's 5-10 minutes just to sit down and have a coffee. Do that. Also maybe do a routine. Obviously if your child is under 3, then really they should still be having a nap. So just make sure that you get into a routine so that they are having that nap, because it can be like 1 to 3 hours. Like my son is, okay, he's 1.5, but he can still sleep for 2 to 3 hours. On the odd occasion he'll wake up after an hour and a half, but usually it's 2 to 3 hours. So yeah, just try and get into a routine where you know what's coming and where you can fit time in for yourself. And the other question I got was, when am I due? So in the email that we sent out, I did say there was a big personal decision that I made. So yeah, with the due date, I've got another elected C-section. And with that, before I even spoke to the consultant, I considered having my tubes tied, and when I've researched it before on the NHS, they don't recommend or usually do it if you're under 30 unless it's for medical reasons or it's necessary, I guess. But yeah, so it's something that I had mentioned because I always say to Dean, like, why is it always the woman that's got to take the hormones, go through the pregnancy, have all these pains, like you go through every single change. And if we're happy with kids, like why don't you do that, so we don't have to worry about contraception and taking the contraceptive pills and all of that. But yeah, he's just like, it's irreversible, so he wasn't comfortable with that idea, and obviously I'm not going to force him. It's just my opinion. Like I feel like a lot of it does fall on the woman, but if we don't want to get pregnant again, then we have to take one of the measures that are out there to help us. I don't trust us with contraception, so I don't want to chance it. I don't agree with hormones, so yeah, I did consider having my tubes tied. So anyway, I went for a consultant appointment, and he's like, oh, you've had 2 cesareans before, what was the reason for that? And are you thinking about a third cesarean for this baby? I was like, oh well, yes. If it's possible and safe to, obviously, because you get scar tissue and stuff with the previous cesareans. I was just more concerned with the health side of it, like the risks and stuff. So I did ask, is it safe? And he said, yeah, absolutely, it's absolutely fine. And he's like, have you considered sterilization? And I was like, well, actually, I did think about getting it done, but I wasn't sure if I'd be able to, because obviously I'm under 30 and they don't tend to do it. And he's like, no, yeah, we can do it. And I was like, I've read that there's different ways that you can do it. And I said, I don't want the clamps or clips where they kind of just squash your tube or whatever. I don't want those foreign objects in my body. And he's like, yeah, we can snip the tube and tie it. And I was like, yeah, I'd prefer that. So as it stands, that's the decision that I've made. Dean is still not entirely comfortable with the idea purely because it's irreversible. But it's not to say that it's because we want more kids. I mean, we're very happy and blessed to be able to have 3. Obviously, we had the struggle with Zara, and now to have 2 more. We are really lucky, and I'm happy with that. So I think for me, for now, I don't think I can go through. I feel like I've been pregnant every year since 2018. Like in each year, I've been pregnant because I fell pregnant in 2018, and I was pregnant into 2019, and then I was pregnant in 2020 into 2021, and now 2022 into 2023. So it's like pregnant, for a timing every year. And I just feel like I just want to focus on the kids that I have now, and not have to worry about the contraception. And I don't want to have that to have I don't want to have to make the difficult choice if we do accidentally fall pregnant, because I don't know if I could go ahead with terminating the pregnancy, but at the same time I don't think I can cope just yet, with any more babies. I don't want to have to make that choice because I don't think I'd be able to. So yeah, that's where I stand at the minute. Obviously, I've got my next appointment early next year, and anything can change between then. But as it is now, I think it's the right decision. And with this sterilization, I said, does it affect your hormones? Is there any side effects? They said no, none of that. You literally just don't get pregnant. And that to me sounds, pretty good. I did initially want 4 kids, but after the 3rd one, I think I'm done, both for health reasons, just for my body. It's been doing really well coping with the 3 pregnancies so far, and it's amazing. Like every time I think about what my body is actually doing, it's really amazing. But I think it's my time. And another thing is, it doesn't, you still pass eggs, but it gets absorbed into the body, so it just stops the sperm getting to them. So if we were really desperate and really wanted kids, there might be the option of going the IVF route, but obviously that would have to go, we'd have to go private for that. But it's still, I think, a possibility. But yeah, in terms of the actual cutting and tying the tubes, that's irreversible, and that's the part that he's not comfortable with. But I think where I'm at now, that's the choice that I'm making for me. And he's not completely against it, because obviously if you're in a marriage, like it needs to be transparent, and at the end of the day, it's your choice, what you do with your body and all of that. But it's just nice to be on the same page, and you're kind of going through it together, because you are in a marriage, so these decisions do affect one another. But yeah, so that was the big decision that I think some people might not take lightly. Some people might be angry about. I'm not sure, but it's a personal choice for me. And you could just hope that people respect that, and everyone's different. Another one was, how do you cook and cope with smells when you're pregnant? Thankfully, this time round, I have not really been affected too much by smells. The first trimester was really hard. Second trimester, it's been getting a lot easier, so it's not been too bad at all. You get the odd occasion where I feel sick and I'm like, oh, and my smell sensors are like, they've heightened tenfold. So I've not been affected by food as such. So that's been really good. Another one is, what medication did I take when I had COVID while I was pregnant? I only took paracetamol. When I went into A&E, I was offered something stronger, but I didn't want to take it. I'm not comfortable with the idea of the medication passing to the baby. It's just a personal choice. Obviously, you have to go with what's right for you, what's recommended by your midwife and your GP and all the rest of it. But for me, I said to them, if I can cope with the paracetamol, then I will. Like, that's the route that I want to take. I don't want to take anything stronger. Even though it is safe, they say, you know, it's safe to. It's just personal preference, really. And with the paracetamol, because it was quite bad, it didn't like stop the pain completely, it just took the edge off where I could just about manage and do things, and I was happy to just deal with that. Yeah, so I just cope with the pain, you know, it depends on your pain threshold and stuff like that. But yeah, for me, paracetamol, and that's only if I really, really have to. Otherwise, yeah, I'm not really want to take medication. So the other one was the difference in pregnancy symptoms with a girl or a boy. So the ones that stick out that pop to my head is my skin. With Zara, my skin was really clear, I was really glowy. With the boys, oh yes, we did have our gender reveal a couple of weeks ago, and it's another boy. So yeah, the boys, they are quite similar. Zach, I had a few spots. I didn't feel pretty at all. I didn't feel glowy. And with this one, it's the same. Like, I've had really bad breakouts, and they actually hurt as well. And I've got like, this area here is quite dry and rough, and I don't know what to put on it. I did change my cream a few months ago even, and it's a concentrated like moisturizer, and I don't know if it's too strong or it doesn't agree with me, or it's just the hormones, but I've stopped using it for now, and I've just been using Vaseline just to like protect the skin a little bit. But yeah, as I don't really know what's the best thing to use, but that's one of the symptoms, I guess, maybe dry skin with a bit of like a rash or something. So there's that. There's the shape of the stomach. With Zara, I was very round all over, like I was round. With the boys, I was more prominent at the top, and then it kind of went flat towards the bottom. So it's slightly different shape. With Zach, I had put on 21 kgs, with Zara was 12, so the appetite was more with the boys. I did want a lot more meat. With Zara, I did like the KFC wings and the lamb chops, but with Zach, I found it was a lot more. Like, I'd have, I wanted cheeseburgers, I wanted a lot of burgers, and I wanted a lot of chili, and I had a sweet tooth. Even now with this baby, I've got a sweet tooth, and I'm actually worried about my glucose test coming up soon. But yeah, so Zara was more savory. I'd have like one little bar of chocolate and I'd be done. Now I can, you know, I can eat a lot more, and I'm like, okay, maybe I shouldn't. But yeah, so the sweet tooth is another one. What else is there? So yeah, it's the appetite, the skin, the shape of the stomach. And with the boys, I did feel sick a lot more. With Zara, I found it quite a breeze. Like, I wasn't ill. I didn't feel sick as much. I slept a lot in the first trimester. With Zach, I felt sick the whole pregnancy through. With this baby, the first trimester was horrendous. But yeah, it's not so bad now. So yeah, I think those are like the main differences. I get the odd pains here and there, which I don't know, I feel like maybe because I'm going through it now, I feel like the pains with the boys have been more, and maybe it's the position that they're in. Like, I have a lot more sort of back pain. Yeah, so I don't know if that's a boy or girl thing, or it's just been a coincidence that the pain has just felt more with the boys. But yeah, so those are the main things. I did plan to have a short and sweet video, but yeah, hopefully the video wasn't too boring and long. But yeah, I'll kind of cut it short there. And yeah, thank you for watching. Please do like and subscribe, and we'll be back, Sasha and I will be back filming again next time. But goodbye for now.